We're finally getting that Bitcoin price drop that we've been waiting on to get a proper retracement so we can have a really, really good setup to finally push the price much higher and profit off of the next all-time highs that are going to be coming soon. So if you guys remember a few videos back, I called a top at roughly 111 and 112K because I created a few fib extensions based off of the beginning structures that let the price then go up higher after breaking micro resistances. And I couldn't create any more fib extensions because at that point we're just being hopeful and pushing the price much higher. Instead, I left it where it was at, and then perfectly, price couldn't really push above the 0.618 at 111.9K basically before we start pushing down lower. And then I kept saying that the moment we break the primary micro supports right here, which we did start breaking, we rallied up higher before breaking the last micro support, or the lowest one before the price can go higher. Instead, it failed to go much higher. The RSI was maxed out on the premium side for a very long time, and we haven't seen deep discount RSI indications in a while. What happens then is that we kept keeping track of this fib extension. I kept saying every time we break micro support, expect prices to drop lower. And when we drop lower, we always want to see if we can find support within the next fib extension. I do expect the price to come down much lower over time, but I'm going to tell you guys what I'm doing instead of a bunch of different scenarios. I think it's much better to just explain what I'm doing personally and just my own personal opinions. So if you guys are trading spot, this is much easier because the US market is not open on Monday, but spot markets are always open 24/7, which is much better. In my case, though, I'm trading ETFs, so I'm going to just focus on the bigger pictures, and I'm not going to focus on micro supports too much because we did break lower and we are now at the first out of three major resistances, or not resistance, price support areas that I want to keep an eye on as Bitcoin continues to fluctuate forward. So keep in mind, we are above or below, I should say, we are below the 120 moving average, and you guys already know how I feel about that. We tend to trade around it quite a bit the moment we have one major extension where it pushes the price far away from the 120 moving average. Then we can expect it to eventually flirt with the 120 moving average once again and expect the same fluctuations to happen in the opposite side, unless current things happen, which the current news events, if you guys were aware, the White House threatened a 50% tariff on the EU. I couldn't find a new article, but today a new article is available somewhere on the internet where it's showing that they're actually delaying the tariffs for July. So again, as tariffs become more aggressive, you have all of these delaying to delay them to cause, a stabilization in fear, which can also reflect stabilization in the price action until a negotiation is finally met. And I wouldn't be surprised if something's not met by then, and then next thing you know, we have another delay, which happens quite often as well. But we're below the 120 moving average. What does this say? Well, we got to keep an eye on the new micro supports that happened as we keep an eye on the bigger picture, right? So I want to see the price go up finally above 115K. Once we break 115K, we can finally go up to 120, 130, even all the way up to 150. But before we can go up there, we need a proper healthy setup to push us much higher. Now, we are seeing a little bit of a price rally due to the delays in tariffs, but no progress have been made. We see all of these, paper promises happen and no physical promises being met just yet. Of course, we're still early in this process, and we are still waiting to see what the Fed wants to do in the next meeting, which is expected just to keep interest rates flat and remind everyone that they are not in a hurry. So going forward, what I'm personally doing is I do have a small position that I am holding on to over this weekend, this long weekend, because you guys got to remember that we have a lot of important support areas, and the most important ones right now is the last swing high that confirmed, it's all the way back here that happened a while ago, the last swing high that confirmed the bearish trend to come down. Now, and we've been seeing this act as a support in the future, where we saw the price support micro supports while still supporting the major bigger picture support line and push the price much higher. We're seeing that happen right now as well, but we have artificial positive news that is pushing the price a little bit higher. So what I'm personally doing is that I'm going to continue to hold on to this small position. It's just 10K invested into BitU. You guys already know that I've been doing a lot of small long trades on BitU as Bitcoin keeps hitting and trying to respect micro supports so well. They all been very, very, supported quite well. But right now, what I'm doing is, I think the position is down roughly 100 because I opened it before Friday's market close, and over the extended hours post market, the price did fluctuate down. And since I can't buy or sell on the weekend, I would rather be in early than not be at all, and then watch the price have like a potential double top going forward. But that's not really what I'm personally looking at the moment. We haven't seen the RSI really go over and below the 30K or not 30K, the 30 mark on the RSI for the bearish indication to continue. But what we do have is we do have some support here that could be broken, but we also have the previous original 109ish 109.3K all-time high that can act as a resistance going forward, especially not just because the price is below it, but because the 120 moving average is also below the previous original all-time high that we broke not too long ago. So what I'm doing now is stop loss is going to be at the bottom of this micro support, the local micro support right here, because we are in a bearish trend. We can confirm a bearish trend. We've seen all these lower lows and lower highs forming. Technically in the micro picture, we are breaking over the resistance, but this is just a corrective rally to factor in a lot of other moves. And if you guys have been sort of day trading Bitcoin, you know that after this whole move down, breaking the previous micro supports, we want to be able to find potential long points. And this is a good example for education going into the future. But if you guys have been tracking this and you saw the price bottom out and volume reverses to the bullish side at exactly at the 120 moving average, which is amazing. I love when this happens. Great selling point is always between the 0.5 and 0.618 retracement. So we know that. We've been tracking that a lot. We've been using that same indicator tool during this whole fluctuation going higher, taking advantage of micro supports and understanding how high we can go and how that overlaps with the fib extensions. But now, going forward, as we continue to see these lower lows forming, so far we're still holding below the previous all-time high. So what I'm doing right now is, because we have the potential going higher, we filled in this blue retracement, which is 1 out of 3 retracements that I'm keeping an eye on. We're holding this quite well, found support at the yellow support on the bigger picture and above the 0.5 moving average. So right now, with that small position I have, is I want to see, because this is the low and this is a little bit of a micro push higher, I want to see if the price can hold this area, create a little bit of a bigger swing within the microstructures, and then seeing if we can find a better fib extension higher than here. If this doesn't happen by Tuesday market open and we are within these levels or even just above it, I plan to sell out of the position, because it can just be a overall corrective rally where we can see a 3-wave move down, where it can look something like this, where we have the wave down, which comes into the support area. So that's the first wave. Second wave can even be an overextending B wave or just a double top before we come down on the third wave to the purple area. And then from there, we go to much, much higher prices. So that's the caution I'm putting right now. So it's been weeks since I said, we need a proper retracement. We have the indications of that happening potentially now. But my view on taking advantage of short-term micro positions is still valid, in my opinion, because even though we came here, even though a proper retracement would be down here within what we have so far as a consolidation level and a move higher, this could be factoring in the we every time we have a big move up, we have consolidation sideways, time factoring in the rally, and we continue to move up higher. So this is actually valid to continue to see the price go up higher. Now, I'm liking the roughly 103 to 104K level ideally. Even though I would like the price to come down here, I wouldn't be surprised if it never comes down here and instead finds support around 103 to 104K, because we have a lot of consolidation within this area, and it's the still premium area of the red retracement, but it's also breaking the blue, you know, invalidating the bigger picture on the blue and strengthening the red to then go up much, much higher. So this is a very important support area I'm personally looking at, again, because that's going to be the medium level of this consolidation area. So strong support there, in my opinion. As of right now, again, we have bearish momentum. Even though we're rallying up a lot right now, we haven't broken this swing high. Now, anything above this swing high, it will be great to continue to follow the price higher. What I mean by this is that how I'm approaching this right now, and I'm going to show you guys, is as we continue to look for confirmations of a uptrend forming, as we are coming down in a bearish move, we want to see, micro resistances being broken. So this is the level I'm keeping an eye on right here. If this level breaks, then we have a really good idea that we can potentially, at a minimum, at least trying to create a double top and go much higher and retest like 112K potentially. That's what I'm looking at. So right now, in the super short-term trading, anyone that bought or accumulated within the blue, we are now entering a smaller picture double top, potentially strong resistance right here. Again, this is factoring in this small uptrend. And the moment we break over this, then I'm looking at potentially selling that short-term position. I'm going to be a little bit more extreme with it, and I'm looking at 112K. Until then, I will be maybe shaving off the price. It just depends how this fluctuates going into not just over Monday, market closed Monday, but entering into Tuesday. I cannot physically manage this position, ETFs again, until the market opens. So I have no way of doing anything. So I am forced to let the price do its thing, and I'm willing to let this run higher as I wait for Tuesday. But again, SL is going to be placed right down here at 106.5K, which is going to be just below that swing low. If this gets triggered and we are moving lower, then I am out without taking really much of a hit whatsoever. And then I am looking for the price to finally fill in this red area and create a much deeper value buying opportunity, but still understanding that we are in a downtrend. And this can continue to go all the way down here, regardless of all these, bullish fake outs we could potentially be viewing right in front of us at the moment. So right now, really great opportunity, in my opinion, to reduce spot positions if you guys have that. If not, we're looking for this swing high to break as we enter Tuesday's market open, 3-day weekend again, before we can see a potential double top or just continue higher and finally start trading within this green area. And if we do touch this green area, not just the red but the purple is going to be invalidated. It's as simple as that, invalidating these and then looking for new structures to trade off of here. Now, as we continue, for you spot traders to, as we continue to wait into Tuesday, at any point the price can easily see a little bit of a correction. The moment the price has a correction, if it breaks below the 0.618 at 107, basically 0.6K, then this opens the pathway, and it makes things a lot more clear that we are actually going to continue the downtrend, not make a micro picture higher high, instead come down lower and finally go into the red. Now that's if the micro retracements are broken. So as of right now, things are looking good and we're looking healthy. We found a really, really good support within the first major level support area. So this is an absolute, decent area to accumulate, in my opinion, a little bit more aggressively as we have these correction moves. But as of right now, again, I have no option but to just let this ride until Tuesday and then see where we're at. Again, if Tuesday market open happens and we are below here, I'll be stopped out of the position. If not, we'll be higher, and then I'll just create new fib extension areas for the micro picture for you guys as we continue to take advantage of micro supports, important fib support areas, and using tight stop losses as we continue to go forward. So things are going to clear up a lot more, not just overnight tonight, but Monday, as market volume begins to influence and the futures volume begins to influence Bitcoin. So as of right now, I'm going to let this ride, and I'll give you guys a much better, clear picture on what I'm looking for specifically this 4-day trading week that we have. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.